Hello everyone, welcome to this Microsoft Excel 2016 Learn Moderate Skills video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about advanced formatting options, how to use autofill handle tool, how to use formulas and functions, how to sort and filter data, and how to freeze panes. So as you can see, I have already created this data so that I can save a little bit of time. And here we have a title for this table. Then we have some fields or headers, whatever you want to say. This one is title, and here we have some books. So these are titles of books. Then we have author. So this book is written by Chetan Bhagat. This one is written by Anita Desai. Similarly, this one is written by Arvind Adiga. Here we have ratings of these books. Here we have price, and these are the prices for renting these books. And here we have number of rentals. So this book is rented 40 times. This book is rented 30 times. And similarly, this book is rented 35 times. Here we have our amount column. So when we multiply this price by number of rentals, we get 1000. Similarly, if we multiply 10 by 50, we get 500. So this is the data that we already created. Now, the thing that we are going to learn here is Format Painter. Now let's say we want to apply this formatting over here. So how we can do this? First of all, we need to select a few text from here like this. Then we need to go to our Format Painter. Actually, if you don't want to select, no problem. Just click here and go to your Format Painter. Click on it. Then your mouse pointer will turn into a paintbrush. Now let's say we want to apply this formatting over here. So what we have to do is we just have to click and drag like this. Then after the selection, we can leave the mouse button and it will apply the same formatting that we have over here. Now, in fact, we don't want this formatting over here. So we are going to undo it. And how we can undo this formatting? Either we can use Ctrl and Z key combination, or we can click here. This has undo command in the quick access toolbar. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z and it will undo that. Okay. Now let's say this time we don't want to apply this formatting over here. Instead, we want to apply this formatting over here. Then how we can do that? First of all, select the cell from where you want to copy the formatting. Then click on Format Painter under Home tab in Clipboard group. Then your mouse pointer will turn into a paintbrush. Then you can drag this paintbrush over the cell where you want to apply the formatting. And as you can see, this formatting is applied to this one. To undo it, we can go to our quick access toolbar and click on this undo button. And as you can see, we just regain our actual formatting. So this is how we can use Format Painter to apply the formatting that we already have, and we can get exact outcome. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is conditional formatting. Let's say we want to apply some kind of formatting over here. So first of all, we need to select this data for which we want to apply conditional formatting. Then we need to go to our Home tab under Styles group. We need to click on this conditional formatting drop down. Now here we get different options like highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, and here we can define new rules, clear rules, and manage rules. Now let's say here we want to highlight cell rules, and as you can see, when we bring our mouse pointer over this, we can get some more options like greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contains a data occurring, duplicate values. Now let's say we want to highlight only those cells or those ratings that are greater than 3. So we need to click on here. Now here we need to type in the number, and let's say we want to highlight the numbers that are greater than 3. So we need to type in 3. Now from here we can select the formatting that we want to apply if this condition is satisfied. So when the number will be greater than 3, then let's say we want to make numbers green. So we can click on this green fill with dark green text. Now we can click OK, and as you can see, all the numbers that are greater than 3, means all the ratings that are greater than 3, are now green. Okay, so this is how we can apply this conditional formatting. Now let's say we want to highlight those numbers which are greater than 500. So again we need to go to our home tab, under styles group, click on conditional formatting. From here, bring your mouse pointer over highlight cell rules. Now this time let's say we don't want to highlight greater than, instead we want to highlight those cells or those numbers that are less than a certain amount. So this time we are going to click on less than, and here we are going to define, let's say 1000. So we want to highlight all those amounts which are greater than 1000, and from here we can apply the formatting if this condition is satisfied. Okay, and let's say this time we want to make those text or numbers that are less than 1000 red. So we can click on here, and finally we can click on this OK button. And as you can see in this column, all those amounts which are less than 1000 are red. So you can see this amount is less than 1000. This one is also less than 1000, less than 1000, less than 1000, less than 1000, and this one is also less than 1000. Now let's say this time we don't want to apply this kind of formatting. Instead, we want to apply some different kind of formatting. Let's say we want to find out which books have highest rentals. So first of all, we need to select the number of rentals. Then we need to go to our home tab, under styles group, click on conditional formatting. Now let's say we want to get top 5 grossing books. So we can click on this top 10 items, and from here we can define the numbers like 5, and then from here we can click on this drop down, and let's say this time we don't want to use this formatting. Instead we want to define some custom formatting. So here under font tab, we need to select the type of font style. Let's say we want to make these fonts or text or numbers bold. So we can select this one, and let's say we also want to change color, and this time we want to change numbers in blue. So we can select this one, and finally we can click on this OK button. Again OK, and as you can see, all those books repeat. Now as you can see, all those rentals which are top 5 are blue. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 rentals, and these are top 5 number of rentals, and all other are less than these rentals. So this is how we can find out top 10, top 5 or top 20. And similarly, now let's say we want to apply some different kind of formatting, and this time we want to just change the numbers, these amounts, in some type of data bars. So we can click on here. Now here we can see there are some gradient fields and some solid fields. Now as you can see, according to these amounts there are some bars, and we can easily see which is the highest grossing books. Okay, now we can also choose solid fields like these ones, but here we don't want to use these ones, so we can just click outside of it. Another thing that we can do is, let's say we want to apply color scales, and as you can see there are so many color scales, and we can choose any of these color scales. And as you can see in this one, we have highest amount in green and lowest amount in red. So if we want to use it, we can click on it. If we want to use reverse of it, means highest amount in red and lowest amount in green, we can use this one. There are some other options, but we want to stick with this one, so we can click on this. And as you can see, the highest amount is 1500, so it is green, and the lowest amount is 300, so it is dark red. Okay, so there are various options that we can use in conditional formatting. Now let's say we don't want to use any of these conditional formatting, so we need to remove this conditional formatting. So we can go to our home tab, under editing group we can click on this drop down, and we can click on clear formats and center. Now it is perfect. There is one more way to remove this conditional formatting, so let's bring this back, Control Z, and if we want to remove this conditional formatting from here, first of all select the data from which you want to remove conditional formatting. Then go to your Home tab, under Styles group, click on Conditional Formatting drop down. Now from here you need to click on Clear Rules. Then you need to click on Clear Rules from selected cells, and it will remove all these conditional formattings that we have just applied. If we want to use icons, we can also do that. First of all, we need to select the data for which we want to apply icons. Then we need to go to our Home tab, under Styles group. We need to click on Conditional Formatting. Then click on Icon Sets, and from here you can get different types of arrows, shapes, and indicators and ratings. But here we don't want to actually use it. I just wanted to show you, so we can click outside it. Now as you can see, all that we have, these are amounts and these are also amounts. So we need to convert these numbers into currency format. And how we can do that? First of all, we need to select the numbers that we want to convert into currency format. So we are going to select this one, Control key, then this one, and then to convert these numbers into currency format, I'm sorry, this is not currency, actually this one is. So select this one, Control key, then this one. So these are price and these are amounts, so these will be currencies. Now to convert these numbers into currency format, we need to go to our Home tab, under Number group. There are three ways to do that. One, we can click on this drop down, and from here we can select currency, and it will apply currency format to these numbers. Another way, we can select from here, and this will apply currency format. But in most of the cases, what I do is I click on this launch button, then Format Cells dialog box will pop up. Now here you can see there are different tabs like Number tab, Alignment tab, Font tab, Border tab, Fill tab, Protection tab. Under Number tab, we need to select under category this currency format. Now here you can see there are two decimal places, so actually there are no cells selected. So first of all we need to select the data. So cancel it, select the data first like this, then click on this launch button. Then Format Cells dialog box will pop up. Under category, we need to choose currency format. Now here you can see a sample. From here we can increase or decrease number of decimal places. Let's say we don't want any decimal places, so we can remove it. Now here you can see a dollar sign. We don't want to use dollar sign because this is not our currency. So we are going to select our currency. So just scroll down and search for rupee currency. And as you can see, we have our rupee currency over here. So just click on it and then click on this OK button. And you can see all these numbers are now in currency format. So this is how we can apply currency format to numbers which are actually currency. And this is how we can tell Excel that these are currencies, not just numbers. Now the next thing that we are going to discuss is we are going to use some formulas. So the first formula that we are going to use is total or sum formula. In Excel there are numerous ways to add numbers, and here we want to add these numbers, means these amounts, and we want to find out what is the total collection from these books. So let's make it bold, Control B, and here we are going to type in is equal to, because every formula in Excel starts with an equal sign, then we need to type in this cell plus 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 this one plus this one plus this one plus this one. Then we can hit enter, and this will add all these amounts, and we can see our answer over here. Okay, let's apply a border. This, okay. Now let's say we want to add these numbers in some different way. Another way to add these numbers is we can use sum function. So we need to type in an equal sign, sum. Then we can select this data range that we have over here. Then we can close our bracket and hit enter. And as we hit enter, you can see this is our answer, that is rupee 8,325. Now another way to add these numbers is we can use Autosum feature. So how we can use Autosum feature? First of all, we need to go to our home tab, then under editing group we can see this Autosum button, or we can go to our formulas tab, click on it, and then we can see Autosum button over here in function library group. Just click on it and it will automatically select the range. Sometimes this range is correct and sometimes it is wrong because it is just a guess. So if the range is not correct, just select the range by clicking mouse button and dragging it, and if the range is correct, you can just hit enter and it will automatically calculate the total of these numbers. And as you can see, this time also our answer is 8325. Another way to use Autosum is we can use a shortcut, that is Alt plus equal sign, and this will also do the same thing. It will automatically select a range. If we are satisfied with the range, we can hit enter. Now there are some other ways to add these numbers, and one of those ways is we can select the range that we want to add, and as you can see, we want to add these numbers. Then you can see there is a pop-up, that is quick analysis tool. Just click on it. Here you can see different types of tabs. We need to click on this tab, that is totals tab. Now here we can see there are different options like sum, average, count, percent total, running total, sum. Now if we click on here, we can find sum on the right hand side of it. If we click on this sum, we can find the sum on the bottom. We want to sum these numbers on the bottom, so we need to click on it. Then let's cancel it. Okay, let's make it okay. Now another way to add these numbers is using insert function. So let's delete it. Then first of all, we need to select the cell where we want to put our total. Then we can go to our insert function, click on it. Then insert function dialog box will pop up. Here we need to type in function name, which is in this case sum. Then once sum is selected, we can click on this OK button. Now function argument dialog box will pop up. From here, we need to define the range. So we are going to do exactly the same thing. We are going to define the range, and this is the range that we want to add. Once the range is selected, we can click on this OK button. And as you can see, this is our answer, and that is exactly the same. Okay. Now the next formula or function that we are going to use is average. So let's type in here average. Sorry about that. Average. To find out the average, first of all we are going to use fundamental method. So how we find average? First of all, we add all these numbers, then we divide that sum by number of observation. So is equal to, because every formula in Excel starts with an equal sign, then open bracket, then first cell plus this cell plus this cell plus this one plus this one, this one, this one, and this one, close bracket. So this is the sum of these observations. Now we need to divide this sum by number of observations, and as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are total 10 observations. So we need to divide this by 10, and now we can hit enter. And as we hit enter, we can get the average. So average amount is 833. Another way to find out average is we can type in function name is equal to average, open bracket, then range that we want to find average for, and this is the range that we want to find average for, then close bracket and hit enter. And as you can see, this time also our average is 833. Another way to find out average is we can just use insert function. So we need to go to our formulas tab, then we need to click on insert function. Insert function dialog box will pop up. Now here we need to type in our function name, which is in this case average. Then we need to click on this go button. Once average is highlighted, we can click on this OK button. Now as you can see, function arguments dialog box will pop up, and it is prompting us to put the range. So we are going to select the range for which we want to find average for, and we want to find average for this range. So we need to select this. Now we can click on this OK button, and as you can see, our average is 833. Okay. There are some other ways to find average, and I'm going to tell you one of those. You can select this data for which you want to find average for, and then you can see here, this is the average, rupee 833. So you can select this cell where you want to put your average, and you can type in 833. So there are numerous ways to calculate average and total. Now the next formula that we are going to learn is max formula. Let's say we want to find which number or which amount is maximum. So how we can find that? To do that, we need to use our max function. So start your max function with an equal sign, then type in max, which stands for maximum, then open bracket, and then we need to define the range, and this is the range. So select this, then we can close bracket and hit enter. And as you can see, 1500 is the maximum amount, and that is from this book, Immortals of Meluha. Similarly, let's say we also want to find out which is the minimum grossing book. Which book is collecting minimum amount? So to do that, first of all, let's write here minimum, and to do that, we need to use our minimum function. So equal sign, then min, open bracket or parenthesis, then again select data range. We can either select directly from here or we can type it manually. So as you can see, this is G4, so we need to type in G4 like this, colon sign, then our last cell, which is in this case this one, G13, so we need to type in G13, and as you can see, this data range is now selected. Once it is selected, we can close our bracket and hit enter. And as you can see, minimum amount out of these amounts is rupee 300. So this one is maximum amount and this one is minimum amount. Let's say we also want to make this text bold. So we can select this cell, go to our home tab, then under clipboard group, click on format painter. Then once it turns into a brush, just apply this brush over here. And now this formatting is applied to this one. Okay, so this is how we can define these things, and we can apply formatting. We can find total, average, maximum, minimum. Now if we click over here and we see in the formula bar, we can see the formula that we have applied to this cell. And to calculate this number, we have applied is equal to min, which is function name, then first cell address, which is this one, colon sign, the last cell address. For calculating maximum, we wrote is equal to max, then G4 through G13. Then to calculate average, you can see we did this by just typing in or calculating. So we can just type in is equal to average, open bracket, select the range, then close bracket and hit enter. And now you can see here, this is the average is equal to average, then range G4 through G13. Now you may be wondering that just a few seconds ago there was no formula. That's because we typed in that number. We just selected this range, watched the average over here, and then we just typed in. We didn't use any formula, and that is why it was not showing any formula over here in the formula bar. Similarly, if we click over here, we can see the formula which we just applied to this cell, and the formula is equal to sum G4 through G13. So this is how you can check the formula, and if you want to edit that formula, you can just click here and edit that. If you want to remove this number, you can click here and change that number. So this is how we can do that. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is autofill feature, which is a wonderful feature of Microsoft Excel, and it makes our work a lot easier. So let's say we have a name over here that is Pankaj, okay, and we have a number over here that is 5, And let's say we want to populate all these cells up to here with the same name. Then how we can do that? We don't need to write this name again and again. We can just select this cell, then we can bring our mouse pointer over here, and when it turns into a solid black plus, we can click and drag it like this, and then we can leave it. And as you can see, all these cells are populated with the same name. Then let's check this if it works on numbers. Now let's say we want to populate all these remaining cells with this number. So select this cell, bring your mouse pointer over this corner, click and drag it like this. And you can see all these remaining cells are populated with the same number. So it works with text and it also works with numbers. Now let's say if it works with patterns. Let's say we have Sunday over here. Okay? Sunday. Then let's say we have January. Excel is powerful enough to recognize any pattern. So if we click and drag it like this, you can say Excel can recognize a pattern that these are weekdays, and after Sunday we get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then again it starts it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Similarly, if we click on this cell, bring our mouse pointer over here, click and drag, then you can see it also recognizes the pattern and it can populate these cells with the pattern. So after January, we get February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay? It can also recognize any pattern in numbers. So let's say we have 1 over here and then we have 2 over here. And we want to write numbers after this 1 and 2 like 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So what we have to do is, first of all we have to select at least 2 cells so that it can recognize the pattern. Then we can just click on here and drag it like this, and it will populate the remaining cells with this pattern. Now let's say we have over here 5, then we have 10, and we want to write our next number 15, then 20, then 25. Then we have to repeat the same process. We have to select these 2 cells, then we need to click on this corner and then we can drag it like this. Okay. Now let's say we also want to check if this autofill feature works in both with numbers and with text together. So first of all we are going to remove this data because we don't need it. Select this and delete button. Now let's say we want to write here 5th January, and after this 6th January, hit enter. Now we need to select these 2 cells, then we can bring our mouse pointer over here, click and drag like this. And as you can see, after 5th and 6th January, we have 7th January, 8th January, 9th January, 10th January and so on. So that means it works with both. It works with numbers, it works with text, it works with both. Okay? So this is the wonderful feature of Microsoft Excel. Now one thing that I wanted to tell you, that there is not only one way to use autofill feature. Actually there are some other ways to use this, and I'm going to tell you those methods. Let's say we have a number over here 2, and we want to populate these cells with the same number 2. Okay. Now let's say we have some numbers over here like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 5, 8 and finally 9. And here we want to multiply these cells together, means we want to multiply 2 by 5, 2 by 6, 2 by 7. So we need to type in an equal sign, then this cell, asterisk symbol, this cell and hit enter. Now let's say we want to do the same thing, means we want to multiply this number by this number, this number by this number. So we need to extend this formula. So we can either just bring our mouse pointer over here, click and drag it like this, or there are some other methods. We just need to select this cell, then copy this cell, Ctrl C key combination together. Now once it is copied, we can use shift and down arrow key like this, and then we can hit enter and it will automatically calculate these numbers. Now there is one more way to do that. Let's say we don't have any numbers over here, and this time we just need to select the cell, then we need to bring our mouse pointer over this corner, and when it turns into a solid black plus, we can just double click and it will automatically calculate these numbers, mean it will multiply this cell by this cell for all these cells. And if you want to test this in your amount, let's say we don't have any amounts in here, so we are going to delete this. So select these cells, press delete button. Now we are going to type in is equal to, then this cell multiplied by this cell, hit enter, and you can see the amount is rupee 1000, and we want to apply this same formula over all these other cells. So select this cell, copy it by pressing Ctrl C, then use your shift and down arrow key and hit enter, and you can see all these cells are calculated, means it has calculated this amount for all these books. Now another way to do that is just select the cell, bring your mouse pointer, when it turns into a solid black plus, just double click and it will also do exactly the same work. So I think you got the point how to use autofill feature of Microsoft Excel, and it is a wonderful feature that makes your work a lot easier. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is how to sort data. So first of all we need to remove this data because we don't need it. Then let's say we want to sort all these titles of books in alphabetical order. So first of all we need to select this data including header. Then we need to go to our home tab. Then under editing group we need to click on sort and filter. From here we need to choose custom sort. Then sort dialog box will pop up. Here in sort by we want to sort it by title. Then we want to sort on cell values, and the order that we want is A to Z. Now we can click on this OK button, and as you can see, now these books are sorted in alphabetical order. So this book comes first in alphabetical order and this book comes last in alphabetical order. Now you may be thinking that the data mismatched here, but that's not. You can see author of this book is J.K. Rowling, Immortals of Meluha by Amish Tripathi, in custody by Anita Desai. So all this data is correct. So this is how we can sort our data. Now let's say we want to sort this data by amount. So first of all we need to select this data, and then we can go to our home tab. Then we can click on sort and filter, or we can go to our data tab. Then we can see that option, means sort option over here. Click on it and we will get the same option. Sort dialog box will pop up. Now here we are going to define how we want to sort it by. Let's say this time we want to sort it by amount, and we want to sort on cell values, and the order that we want is, let's say, smallest to largest. Now we can hit OK, and as you can see the smallest amount is at the top and the largest amount is at the bottom, and these are perfectly fine because this book is written by Khuswant Singh, this book is written by J.K. Rowling, and this book is written by Amish Tripathi. So this is how we can sort our data, and this tool is very helpful. Now let's say we want to bring it back, so we can just hit Ctrl and Z key combination together. Now let's say we also want to filter this data. We want some specific data based off of amount or based off of rating, so that we can define which book is better and which is not. So first of all we need to select these headers. Then we need to go to our data tab. Then under sort and filter group we need to click on this funnel shape filter button. Now you can see there are some drop down buttons in all these titles or headers, whatever you want to say. And this time let's say we want to sort this by amount. So we need to click on this. Then we need to deselect all. Then let's say we want to see only which book collected 1000 rupees. then we can click on this, and then we can click on this OK button. Okay, and you can see we have only one book that collected 1000 rupees. Now to bring it back, just select this funnel shape icon, then click on this select all, and you can hit OK. And now you can see that all of this data is here. Now let's say we want to sort this data by rating. So we need to click on this drop down, then click on select all, and all of this data will be deselected. Now let's say we want to see only those books which have 3.5 rating. So we can select this 3.5, and then we can click on this OK button. And as you can see, we have two books which have ratings of 3.5. Okay, so this is how we can sort this data. Now let's say this time we want to see which book have 4 rating. So we can click on here and we can deselect it. Then we can click on this OK button, and as you can see, we have 3 books which have very good rating, means the rating is 4, and these books are The God of Small Things, The Guide, and The Wings of Fire. Okay, so this is the method of filtering data. And if you want to remove this filter, you just have to click on this funnel shape button, then you need to select all, and you can click on this OK button, and all of this data will appear. And if you also want to remove these drop downs, you just have to click on this filter again, and all these drop down buttons will be removed from these headers. So this is how we can use our filter option. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is how to freeze panes. Let's say we have a large amount of data, but in this case we don't have that large amount of data. So we are going to create that. So copy it, then paste, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, and Ctrl V. So we have this amount of data, and what we want to do is we want to see, when we scroll down, we want to see our headers. So how we can do that? First of all, we need to select the row, this one, excluding our title and our headers. Then we need to go to our view tab, then under window group we need to click on freeze panes. Now here we get 3 options: freeze panes, freeze top row, and freeze first column. Here we want to freeze panes, so we just need to click on this. Now once we click on this, we can see if we scroll down, this area is now freezed. So we can see this title, author, ratings, price, rentals, and amount. So this is also a very wonderful feature of Microsoft Excel. And so in this tutorial we learned how to do advanced formatting, how to convert numbers into currency format, how to use formulas like sum, average, max, min, how to use autofill feature in Microsoft Excel, how to sort and filter data, and how to freeze panes. So this video concludes here. I hope this was helpful and informative for you. Thanks for watching.